The completion of a Mental Health Advance Directive, or MHAD, is a crucial step towards self-determination of care. It's an important tool in the midst of a mental health crisis where an individual has lost capacity to best communicate their needs and preferences. And the opening conversation introducing an MHAD to an individual that would benefit from one is a crucial first step. Here's an example of how that facilitation might unfold.
Thanks for meeting with me today. I understand you might be interested in learning about a mental health directive, or MHAD. Have you heard of them before?
I've heard of them before, but I'm not exactly sure what it is.
That's totally fine. Most people haven't until somebody explains it. A Mental Health Advance Directive is a legal document that lets you make choices about your mental health care ahead of time, just in case there's ever a period when you just aren't able to make or communicate decisions clearly.
So it's like a medical advance directive, but just for mental health. My grandpa had a medical advance directive, so I know a little bit about how those work, but not much.
Exactly. It's similar, but focuses on your mental health care. Things like medications, preferred hospitals, crisis supports, and people you trust to make decisions if you're unable to.
How would that actually help me?
First, if you are in the midst of a crisis, it gives you the ability to inform everyone from a first responder to a provider on what works best for you, what treatments have helped in the past, and which ones haven't. Second, if you're ever in a hospital, emergency department, or treatment setting, they'll have clear instructions instead of having to guess. And third, it supports your recovery and dignity. You stay in charge of your mental health care even when things are at their most difficult.
I like that idea, especially being able to say what's worked for me before. Sometimes I can't remember things very clearly when I get into a crisis, so it's helpful it's written down. That would be really helpful.
Absolutely. For example, you can include things like what helps you remain calm, who you want to be contacted, or whether there are medications or side effects that you want your doctors to avoid. Some people even can include things like music, routines, or spiritual supports to help them stay grounded.
And who would make decisions for me if I can't?
Great question. You can appoint a mental health care agent, someone who you trust, who understands your preferences. They'll communicate with your care team and make sure your choices are followed. If you don't want to name an agent, you can still fill out the directive, and it will stand on its own.
Is it hard to fill out?
Not at all. I'll walk you through each part. It's mostly checking boxes, writing short prefaces, and choosing who you'd like involved. Once you complete it, you'll sign it with a witness or a notary.
And after that?
We'll make copies for you, your providers, and anyone else you want to name as an agent. It's good to review it every year or two to keep it up to date.
It sounds like a really good safety net.
It is. The best part is that it reflects your voice, your experiences, your choices, your values. When you complete an MHAD, you're giving your future self the support you respect and deserve.
Okay, where do we start?
Let's go through it together. We'll take it one section at a time, and you can decide how much or how little to include.
Now, there may be times when completing an MHAD might be triggering for an individual due to past experiences. That can sometimes be subtle to recognize, but it's important to be able to read the individual and pivot when you sense things are getting hard. Here's an example to show the flexibility in the process.
You mentioned earlier that hospital environments can be really stressful for you. Would you like to include that in the section about preferred treatments?
Yeah, I guess it's just last time I was hospitalized, things got out of control. I don't really want to think about it.
I hear you. It sounds like that experience was really painful. We don't have to go into any details right now if it's bringing up difficult memories.
Thanks. It's just I thought it was getting better and then it fell apart. Writing about it makes it feel like I'm back there.
That makes complete sense. Sometimes revisiting these moments can stir up those old emotions. Would it help if we focused on something that feels safer for now? Maybe who you'd want to contact for support, who you'd trust taking care of your dog, or what helps you feel grounded when things get tough.
Yeah, I can do that. Talking about support feels okay, and I definitely do not want to have to worry about my dog if I have to go to the hospital again. I don't want to go again. I don't think I will, but just in case, this would be a great idea.
Perfect. We can always come back to the other sections later, or not at all today. This process is about you and what feels manageable. Let's shift to your support people. Who's someone you trust to help advocate for you if you're having a hard time?
Probably my sister. She's always calm and knows how to talk to the doctors without making things worse.
That's a great choice. Let's note that down. And just to remind you, you're in control of this entire process. We'll go at your pace.
Notice how the facilitator recognized signs of distress, the hesitation, the change in tone, and responded with empathy, not urgency. By pausing, validating the emotion, and gently redirecting to a safer part of the form, the facilitator kept the process supportive and person-centered. This flexibility helps ensure that completing an MHAD remains a tool of empowerment, not re-traumatization.